Hello, Portland. Dave the Bald Guy, putting the Bald Guy, baldguylimo.com. So the last time we were here, I was talking about how we were going to go camping to a new place, another place, a new place, a place that I wasn't going to mention. And guess what? We didn't make it there. Yay. So I'll explain a little bit of that in a minute. I want to update everybody on what's going on in my life. I'm sitting in my backyard. Yesterday we had a big old cookout. We had burgers, we had hot dogs, we had beans, we had corn, we had, you name it. We sat here and I used my projector TV to broadcast on the side of my house, and we watched The Mandalorian, which was pretty cool. And I know it was a nice little distraction from life. You know, it's gotten a little hairy the last couple weeks. And a bug just landed on me. Life's gotten a little interesting in the last few weeks, and it's unfortunate how things have turned. A lot of these younger people are all like, we're having a civil war, it's terrible, and yeah, it's terrible, but this ain't no civil war, right? If you're old like I am, you remember the last time there were riots like this, and you know that everything will be okay, and everything will go back to where it was. Unfortunately, it's really just horrific. This isn't going to end up being anything other than the worst has already happened as far as riots are concerned. Everybody's on, Facebook, help us when it hits the suburbs. It's not hitting the suburbs. There's been a lot of stupid stuff that's happened. There's been a lot of stuff that I would call conspiracy theory crap about all these bricks and rocks that have mysteriously appeared in the cities, almost encouraging people to throw them and to create all this. I don't know how much of it is true and how much of it isn't, so I'm not going to sit here and spread false information. That's just something I want to actually see legit stories done on, and not just some schmuck with a camcorder posting on YouTube. That's something totally different. Big difference between legit news sources and some dude with a camera. I've got a camera. I don't try to pass anything off as news. I am literally just some schmuck with an opinion. But I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't want to see anyone get hurt at all. I will say that I don't have a problem with windows getting smashed. Windows owned by Starbucks or McDonald's or Target or the Apple Store or whatever. Honestly, I don't. Peaceful protesting's been going on for decades. And has it actually helped? I mean, everyone sits here and goes, ooh, Martin Luther King, and I'm like, well, yeah, but nothing happened as far as the civil rights movement, really, until he was martyred. And then, that's when stuff actually happened. And then everyone peacefully protests, and the powers that be go, oh, look, they're protesting, and they just go back to being a dick. So really, when I think about it, my heart doesn't bleed for Target or the Apple Store or McDonald's or Starbucks, because when you start damaging these places, when things start getting broken, what you're doing is you're costing rich people money. And that's when the politicians stand up. I was actually watching C-SPAN yesterday because I was flipping channels and I have no life. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching politicians on the Senate floor of both sides of the aisle saying, oh, we need to address this. We need to address this because stuff's getting broken and stolen. It's costing billionaires money. And that's what's getting people to say, maybe we should discuss this. Peacefully protesting has done nothing. Peaceful protesting has done nothing for America. Maybe we did need to break some windows and to really get some people to pay attention to this. Maybe getting rich people having to spend money is something. A way of actually addressing this damn problem that we've been having forever. Honestly, if you look at the world, I look at the world and it just looks like 1969 out there. doesn't really look like 2020. It doesn't look like we've evolved as much as we should have. And in some ways we've devolved. I don't know. But you know what? If you live in the suburbs, you'll be just fine. Don't sit here and think, ooh, your stuff's going to get taken. I don't have anything to take. That's the funny thing. I had somebody tell me that, well, if your stuff gets stolen, you're going to be pissed off. Well, of course I'm going to be pissed off. But people aren't going to be stealing my stuff because I live out in the middle of nowhere. So it's really not a very good statement. If you live inside a Target, inside a Macy's, inside anyone, anyway, inside a store, then what happens? That's when you're in trouble. That's when you have some issues. But anyway, I digress. That's just my thought on that matter. I know all the trolls are typing right now in the comments, so I look forward to seeing that. Well, let's just say I do support Black Lives Matter, because my opinion is if you don't think that Black lives actually matter. And it is the beginning of June, and we just started Pride Month, so happy Pride Month for all of our LGBT brothers and sisters. So, as we continue with the sad story that is my life. So what happened was, as we were driving back from our campsite, as you may recall last time, my wife and I were celebrating our anniversary. Well, we were driving home, and the RV was just gutless. It just didn't have any power. So I took it straight to Meineke, where my mechanic is. Very long story short, at first they were like, well, we may have to rebuild your engine. And I'm just like, because at that point I'm just going to sell the damn thing. I'm not going to pay to have somebody rebuild the engine, because I can't afford that. Probably costs more than my RV's worth. Today I went over there and they put it to a different mechanic, and he found the problem in about an hour and a half. And it turns out it's the accelerator cable's broken, and apparently they don't make this cable anymore. So he's like, "What? We could jury rig it and just put a spring on this, and I can MacGyver it with some spirit gum and some Flex Seal and this and that." You know, he wasn't really saying that, but that's pretty much what he was saying. And I'm like, "Well, whatever you do, just make it last 2 years, and I'm happy." He goes, "Okay." So what went from, I thought, a $2,000 repair is going to be probably about, $250. So I can deal with that. I am quite content. And so, unfortunately, we didn't make it to the campground or the campsite or whatever you want to call it. We've been sitting here hunkered down at home. And by the time we actually leave house, I think now we're going to have to let the kids finish up school because they got another week of school left. And then they've got the summer off. By the time we actually, go somewhere, it'll be probably next week. And it's going to rain all next week. So, fun times. And that's our update. And that's what's new over here at the Dave household. In the meantime, that's pretty much it. My vegetables are coming in. I used my cilantro yesterday for the first time. That was awesome. And, that's pretty much that. So I'm hoping to update you here real soon. So until then, you have a good one. And remember, baldguylimo.com.